Hey everyone, I'm Matthew, and this is my wife,
I'm Amy from Discover Magic Travel, and we are
the Castle Chronicles
family. We're a family of 4 with 2 boys from Ohio. We love to travel, right?
and we do travel frequently to Walt Disney World.
We do.
I think a lot of people would like to know why Disney World, though, like specifically, like why not another park or another place or another, a national park to travel to or
Ooh, don't
things
go
like
there
that.
because I love the national park, so we're not
Well,
going to say that.
sure, but we specifically choose Disney World because, well, it's convenient for us. We know our way around. We have a good feel for the land, and it does offer so many different things.
Yeah, so we frequent Walt Disney World because we like to always have options for things to do when we travel.
Sure.
So even if you want a laid back, relaxed vacation, you can still get that at Walt Disney World. And I think that's one of the things that people don't understand. They think that you just have to go all the time. And I understand if it's your one and done trip, yes, you're going to want to do that. But the reason we frequent it is so that we can step back, relax, enjoy the beautiful resorts. There is some amazing dining. There is always something that you can do instead of running around at the parks, and hopefully throughout this podcast, we plan to show our tips and tricks on how to maximize your park days while still taking rest breaks and relaxing in between, maybe going to some fine dining, things like that. So I gave my perspective on why the 4 of us like to frequent Walt Disney World, but what is your perspective?
Um, that's a good question. I think it brings out like a childhood experience that I didn't really have when I was a kid, and it makes me kind of feel like you don't have to grow up, and like all these things are possible if you kind of, it's such a cheesy answer, but I really feel like that's what like enlivens me to Disney World is the fact that you can do anything there and everything is possible, and you can explore so many different aspects of the parks and different types of rides and different festivals. And like I've grown a new love for Epcot that I didn't think that I would
Oh, for
ever
sure.
have after our first couple trips. And um, it's amazing because I think it brings different things out in you that you didn't know, like just different cultural aspects
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I
So
mean, not to mention the Walt Disney World company itself is like no other. And we'll get into that in other episodes as well. But the customer service that they
oh, it's
offer
unrivaled.
and
Yeah,
how they really truly are there to make everyone happy to an extent, an appropriate extent.
sure.
Some people do abuse that a little bit, but I
Yeah,
mean, it
and I would
is
say some
like
people
no
probably
other.
don't necessarily agree with you. Some people maybe have had bad experiences, but I
Sure.
would say generally we've had absolutely wonderful experiences and all kinds of pixie dust moments and things like that within the company that
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
that really, yeah, they really just endear you to who they are and what their mission stands for. And I think it's what Walt would have wanted, I really do. And that's why we love Disney. And I think the other thing that we really like about Disney is coming up here in March, we're actually staying at 2 different resorts. So we're hoping that it gives us a different perspective on the parks too, that we haven't had previously.
And so I
Sure.
think that when you travel there knowing that you're going to be coming back, it's easier to step back a little bit and not rush all the
Well,
time
right.
to
It's more
get to
laid back
everything.
for sure. Yeah. We're definitely
Exactly.
more laid back now than I think our first trip was what, probably 8 years ago. Our youngest boy was probably 1 or 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that trip was a very go, go, go. The
It
whole
was
family was there, right? So it was us and then your family on the outside and our extended family. So I think there was what, 10 or 12 of us in total or
fully
something
packed
like that.
itinerary
Oh, it was crazy. So every minute was expertly, laid out, and that was
planned
that
by
was
myself.
it was planned by you, yes, which actually kind of birthed an idea that you would become a travel planner for Disney specifically. I think that's kind of where it started. Because you are a little OCD when it comes to things like that. Everything has to be very particular.
Oh, for sure. Definitely
Um,
type A personality.
yeah, and I think that's why I love you. But it can be a little
Love you too.
overbearing at times too. But the trips then, I think were obviously like, are we coming back? Is this our only time here? And we didn't realize that we'd be back again in another 4 months, and then another 5 months after that, and then so on and so on. So, I mean, in the last 8 years or so, we've been 10, 12 times, and we're planning on probably at least another 2 trips this year.
Yeah. Our love for Disney has grown over time because we have seen how many different ways there are to do it. And there's always new things to discover every time we go back
Sure.
and we try new dining spots. And, who knew that you could get fine dining and nice meals and you don't feel like you're necessarily even in Walt Disney World if you want to escape from the hustle and bustle of everything.
No, absolutely. And, I was going to say, I think the other great thing about Disney World is if you don't go all the time like we do, there's always something new being built there. Like everything is always in constant development. So, like the last time we just went back, they opened up the new Moana experience at Epcot. And the time before that, Tron had just opened up. I think you can constantly explore different places and do different things that, necessarily we haven't even done. And we've been quite a few times. There are a few places that we're going to be at this time around that we've never even explored before.
Yeah.
We've never even enjoyed the boardwalk. Like it's there. We've always known it was there, but we've never even taken a look at it or walked it or done anything.
That's very true. Everyone's style is different too, and what they're interested in. And like I think we alluded to at the beginning of the episode, you can do it, from value to moderate to deluxe. And there's across the board ways to do that. So not only in your stay, but in your food, there's ways to pack your lunches and save some money bringing food into the parks and snacks, or you can eat at the quick services instead of eating at the expensive dining places. And so it goes all across the board of how you want to do it as a family. And if you want to save money and do it the cheapest as possible, or if you want to splurge a little and certain things you can splurge on or don't have to splurge on. It's just, that's why we love Disney so much, is the possibilities for everything are endless.
No, I agree. And I think it's always been something that we've loved for those reasons there. It's always different. It's not the same experience every time. Crowds can be larger or smaller, and that can really affect the way that you feel when you're at the parks.
Yeah. High crowd times, hot, dead heat of the summer, chilly in the winter in January. So yeah, we've traveled through all of those times. So again, we're hoping to offer some insight on all of our experiences to help people that are interested in traveling there in all these different times. And, each episode will hope to lay out with some new tips, tricks, cover specific things, parks, dining.
Just our observations of what we do at the park necessarily. Right. And I think we're pretty efficient at getting through the park. We're so efficient that we don't rope drop anything. We take midday breaks. We don't always close the park down. And I think we literally do everything in the park almost every day that we're there.
And these are a lot of times during busy season where the parks are packed with people. Get all of that in still and not torture yourself from, sun up, rope drop to park close.
Unless you're into that thing.
But we've also done it. We've done it. We've done both. So We've also done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can offer perspective on both of those things.
I think they have their merits, right? Like if you're a busy, like a busybody and you want to get out and just go and see everything. Yeah, you can get up and rope drop and do all that fun stuff and have to hopefully get in line for like one of the bigger rides that maybe somebody wouldn't want to wait 3 hours for. Maybe in the morning you only wait 20 minutes for it or something like that. And it gets you to progress on your day a little bit more quickly and things. But okay, so let's end it with one final question for you. Which park is your favorite and why?
My favorite park is Animal Kingdom, which I think is probably most people's least favorite park. And a lot of people think that it's just a glorified zoo, and it isn't. I will say the first time that we went there, I felt the most magic at that park. I don't know why. I know. It's like everyone's like, oh, the castle and Magic Kingdom. And yes, while that is Disney, I just connect with Animal Kingdom. I'm a huge nature person. We also love to travel and take hikes and do all of those things too. But the Tree of Life is amazing to me. My favorite ride is at Animal Kingdom. Show is at Animal Kingdom. I don't know.
And just so we can clarify, what's your favorite ride at Animal Kingdom?
Pandora Flight of Passage.
Oh, of course.
Obviously. The best ride ever.
It is pretty great.
But
it's probably my favorite ride. Well, I can't even say it's my favorite ride.
No, because again, we'll get into this
Uh,
in other episodes, but I'm kind of a chicken when it comes to rides, as we all know. So for me to say that that's my favorite ride, that's coming from a perspective of I'm a scaredy cat and don't do roller coasters. And I still love Walt Disney World. So like I know a lot of people's favorite rides is Guardians of the Galaxy. What's your favorite ride?
uh, so mine's pretty controversial too. So my favorite ride is Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, Haunted Mansion.
Well, it's between the two. So I can't pick. I really can't pick between the two. I love the smell at
Of
Pirates,
course.
right? Everyone loves the smell.
Of course.
And obviously my favorite park is Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
It's always it makes me feel like a kid, right? So I think my draw to Magic Kingdom is um it's just nostalgic.
Yeah.
Right? And I know it's not Disneyland and it's not but it's pretty close, I think. And we'll get into Disneyland when we travel there later this year, but um I'm going to say it's between. Okay, I'm going to make a firm decision on this. I'm going to
Wait,
say
people are getting annoyed.
I'm going to say it's Pirates of the Caribbean is 100% my favorite.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I would say it's 100% my favorite. I do love Haunted Mansion
Wow.
because it's quirky and it's goofy and it's silly. But it's Pirates. Everything about Pirates, like I said, the boat ride, the smell, the water splashing.
Even above like Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, those all have their place and things like that. And we obviously know that our boys love them and they're different, but it just feels like that feels so Disney to me,
Yeah.
and that's like I like the Jungle Cruise too, but we won't do the Jungle Cruise because somebody else doesn't really like it. But
hey, don't tell the people that I don't like Jungle Cruise. That is not
well,
the case.
it's true. You don't really like Haunted Mansion either, if we're going to be honest. No comment. Okay, so I mean,
we're not going to go down things we don't like.
Oh, I was going to say you deal well with
Probably
Pirates,
not a good thing
even
for
though you
a
don't
Disney
like
podcast.
you don't like the drop in the beginning of Pirates.
The listeners will get to know me eventually, and the little tiny drop in Pirates of the Caribbean does scare me. Yes, call me a chicken, call me a scaredy cat. That's who I am. But I still do it because I don't want to miss out too much when we're there.
Right. Okay, so we're going to jump into a segment that we call This or That. I'm going to give two different answers to Amy, and she has 1 second to answer which one she likes better, and then she'll come up with a question to ask me, and then we'll go back and forth for about a round of 3, 4, 5, maybe.
We'll see.
And then we'll see where we end up there. Hopefully we don't upset too many people that are listening with our choices, but Amy can be pretty opinionated, so
true story.
We'll see how that goes. So I'll start off here with Mickey Pretzel or Dole Whip.
Mickey Pretzel.
Dole Whip. It's Dole Whip for me, 100%.
Of course.
100%.
Okay, I'm going to go with Caribbean Beach or French Quarter.
Ooh.
You have 1 second?
Caribbean Beach because of Skyliner.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a really tough one.
That's
a
a
really
tough
tough one. Lion King show or the safaris at Animal Kingdom?
Oh, are you kidding me? Lion King.
Ooh, I didn't think you were going to go there. I didn't think that was
I don't know. I panicked.
Holy cow, I didn't see that one coming.
Okay. Okay. Tower of Terror or Rise of the Resistance?
Oh. Rise of the Resistance.
Ooh, I didn't think you were going to say that.
So that's also a really funny one because I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
For
right?
sure.
And I love Star Wars. I just think it's maybe not as great as it could be. The land specifically.
That's what you picked.
But the ride is so much better than Tower of Terror. I do love Tower of Terror.
I was going to say, I thought Tower was one of your favorites too.
It is. It is one of my favorites. Now, if you had asked me like Rise of Resistance or Star Tours, I'm going Star Tours. I love Star Tours. I really love it.
Yeah, we love Star Tours.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Epcot or Magic Kingdom?
I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I think I'm going to say Epcot.
Epcot. Really?
I'm going to get a lot of flack for this.
Epcot.
I don't know.
I can see that. I mean, Magic's my favorite, so I would definitely pick Magic, but.
Okay. So a Skyliner or monorail?
Ooh, Skyliner.
I mean, clearly.
That one's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
I think that one's pretty simple. Okay, so I have one last one for you. And I know you like both of these. So I think it might be difficult. So I'm going to go People Mover or Soarin'.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm going Soren.
Soren. I wouldn't have guessed Soren. I wouldn't have guessed Soren.
Yeah.
So that's going to wrap up our first episode. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoyed what you listened to, please tune in next week for more tips and tricks.
And if you want more advice or help planning your next trip, you can find me at discovermagictravel.com.
As always, you can find us on YouTube or all socials at the Castle Chronicles family.
Till next week, see ya.